Magic Treehouse by Mary Poop Osborne. 4 Pirate Past Moon. Let's get started. Okay, so I read you chapter 1 and chapter 2 and chapter 3 and chapter 4 and chapter 5. Chapter 1. Too late. Jack stared out of the bedroom window. Kept firing and firing. The TV said it would stop by noon, said Annie, his 7-year-old sister. It's already past noon, said Jack. But we have to go to the treehouse, said Annie. I have a feeling the person will be here today. There today. Jack pushed up the glasses into the place and took a deep breath. It wasn't sure he was ready to meet the person yet. The mysterious person who had been at the books and Magic Treehouse. Come on, said Annie. Zack sighed. Okay, he said. You get up the raincoat and boots. I got to the medallion and bookmark. Annie ran to get their rain gear. Jack reached into the drawer. He took out the medallion. It was gold. The letter M was on it. Then it took on the bookmark. It was made of the blue leather. It has the same M on it. Both of the M matched the M that was on the floor on the treehouse. Zack put on the medallion and bookmark into the backpack. Then it grew on the notebook and pencil. Zack, like he take a note about the important things. I got the rain stop, called Annie. Zack picked up his pack and went it down the stairs. Annie was waiting by the dark door. At the back door, she was putting the boots. Meet you outside, she said. Zack put on a raincoat and boots, and then he put on the backpack and joined her. And the wind was blowing hard. Ready, set, go! Annie shouted Annie. They kept on their heads down the chart into the rainy wind. Stood they were the Frog Creek wood. 3 branches throwing finger with rainwater everywhere. Yuck, said Annie. They splashed through the puddles until they came to the tallest oak tree in the woods. They looked up. Tucked between the branches was the tree house. It looked Tucked between the 2 branches was the tree house. It looked dark and lonely against the stormy sky. Hanging from the tree house was a rope ladder. It was blowing into the wind. Zack thought it was the books up there. He hopped on the way to the getting wet. The person been there, said Annie. Zack couldn't be breath. How can you tell? He said. I can feel it, she whispered, and she grabbed the rope ladder and started up. Jack followed. Inside the treehouse was chilly and damp, but the books was dry. They were all neatly and stacked along the wall. They went before. And Annie picked up the castle book off the top of the stack. It had been them at the time of castle. Remember the night? She said. Jack nodded. He would never forget the night he had them. And Annie put down the castle book. She picked up the next book on the stack. It was the dinosaur book. It had taken them to the time of dinosaur. Remember, she said. Jack nodded. He never forget the Pteranodon who had been saved from the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Okay. Then Annie held up the book about the ancient Egypt. Meow, she said. Jack smiled. The Egyptian Egyptian book had taken that to time of the pyramid. A bracket had come to the rescue there. And there was a book about our home, and Annie said. She had the books with the picture of their hometown in it. Frog Creek, Pennsylvania. Jack smiled again. The Pennsylvania books had brought them to the end of each of their adventures. Jack sighed. Okay, he stared at me with a question. Will the M person have put on the books here? And did the night Petronado and their cat will be the M person? Finally, Zack rushed into the backpack. He took out of the gold medallion and the letter and bookmark. He placed the end throw right over the spot where the M growled and fried on the wood. Rain blew in the treehouse. Said Annie. It's not very cozy today. Jack agreed with her. It's just wet and cold. Look, Annie pointed to the open book lying on the corner. I don't remember a book being open. Me neither, said Jack. Annie picked up the book. She stared at the picture of the page. Wow, this place is great, she showed. And the picture to the Jack. Jack had a sunny beach, a big green parrot sitting on the palm tree, and the ship sitting on the blue sea. Another gust of the rainy and blew into the treehouse. When Annie pointed to their picture, I wish we were in the instead of here, she said. Yes, said Jack. But where is there? There, too late, came the squeak. And Jack to the Annie turned quickly. Sitting in a branch outside the window, a large one treehouse went the green parrot, exactly like the parrot on the picture. Too late, said the parrot, the squeak again. A talking parrot, said Annie. Is your name Polly? Can I call you Polly? Suddenly, a giant wind started to whistle. Oh no, now we are going to the big trouble, said Jack. The wind blew harder, the river shook, and the treehouse started by faster and faster. Jack squeezed on the ice shut, then everything was there, absolutely still. Jack opened his eyes. Too late, squeaked Polly. Chapter 2. The Brightest and Brucey. Jack fell out the sunlight and streamed out of the house. He smelled the salt water. He heard the sound of the waves, and he and Annie shook the window, and the treehouse will be palm tree beyond the brightest blue tree. A tall sang beep was to the heart, and it was sound like a picture of the book. Too late, squeaked Polly. Look, said Annie. Polly was flying in a circle above the tree. Treehouse sang shake dropped on the ocean. Come on, let's follow her. Let's go into the water, said Annie. She shook on the waves and dropped on the floor. Wait, we have to study the book first, said Jack. He started to reach from the book, but Annie grabbed it. You can read on the beach, she said. Without even looking on the cover, she shoved in the water to Jack's backpack. He sighed. Actually, the water did look wonderful. Okay, Jack said. He took on the raincoat. Come on! And he shook in the backpack, and then he started up the ladder. Jack followed the raincoat and put on the next to the shack of the butch. She went to the backpack, and they went down the ladder. As soon as Annie went to the sand, she ran toward the ocean. Jack watched her maid on the water. She was wearing her rain boots. You boots, Annie, said Jack. She saw they are dried out. And she said, Jack took on the boots and shock. He pulled them in beside the pack. They rolled up his jeans and they across the hot sand into the waves. And they watched the water warm and clear. Jack couldn't see sharks and tiny fishes. He shouted with the eyes on the sun and peeled off the sea. Then turning it seemed a bit closer. "Where's Polly?" said Annie. Jack glanced at the run. No sign of Polly. Not in the palm trees. Not in the sand. Not all over the bright spruce sea. When Jack would look at the sea again, the ship seemed closer, and now Jack couldn't see its flag. As toward the ship's flag, it still ran toward him. The flag was black, with a skull and crossbone. "Oh, man," he breathed, and he started the water. "What's wrong?" said Annie. She splashed over him. Jack ran the backpack. Annie followed, and he grabbed a book. He grabbed a book from his backpack and looked a cover for the first time. He and Annie went tighter of the book. "Yikes!" said Annie. "Pirate of the Caribbean." Jack read aloud. Chapter 3: The Man and a Bat in a Boat. "We come to the time of pirates," Jack said. "Pirates?" said Annie, like a Peter Pan, huh? Jack flipped into the picture and showed the pirate and his ship, and he read Captain to the picture. 300 years ago, pirates raided Spain and the treasure shipped into the Caribbean Sea. He grabbed a notebook and pencil from the pack. It wrote, "Pirate in the Caribbean." And he turned into the next page. It was the picture of the pirate flag. He read, "A skull and a crossbones flag called the Jolly Roger." "Let's go," said Annie. "Wait," said Jack. "I want to make a drawing on the flag." He dropped on the pirate book sand. He tried drawing a Jolly Roger flag. "Don't copy the picture of the book," said Annie. "Look at the real thing." The Jack pushed at the grass and the trace and kept drawing. "Jack, some of the pirates were getting the boat," said Annie. Jack kept drawing. "Jack, the boat is sweeping the big ship," said Annie. "What?" said Jack. "Look," said Annie, pointed, and Jack looked. He saw a rowboat coming toward the shore. "Run!" said Annie. He started running toward the treehouse. Jack jumped up, and his grass were far up. "Hurry!" Annie said to him, and Jack went to the knees and he felt for the grasses. Where were they? Jack saw something grazed on the sand. He rushed. He wanted the grass. It was his grass. And he snatched them off, and there was a notebook and pencil, and into the pack, and he went to the pack and his bag, and he grabbed on a bush and take the shark, and he took up the running. "Hurry, they're coming!" And he sat in the top of the rope ladder, and Jack looked at the back of the sea. The pirate was closer into the shore. Suddenly, Jack and the pirate began each other confused and forgetting it. And it still a problem to sand. "Oh man, I forget the book," he said. He dropped on the slocks and the bush and treehouse. "Come on, Jack," said Annie, shouting. "I'll be right back," Jack called. "I forget the book." "Jack, forget it!" And he went already toward the water. And Jack grabbed into the bush. "Come back!" Annie shouted. Jack rubbery into the backpack and ran to the beach. "Run, Jack!" said Annie. They whirled the pirate into the sand. They nailed the teeth and they whirled the belt and toward the Jack. "Run, Jack, run!" Chapter 4: The Wild Birdie. Jack went to the cross and the sand. He ran as faster as he could. But the pirate was faster. Before the Jack knew it, it because pirates grabbed him. Jack started. But pirates had huge, strong arms, and he held the Jack roughed up mean ugly. laughed and he was shockingly black-bearded and went all nice. And he heard when yelling, and he weren't coming to the stair. Stay where you are, Jack shouted. But Annie kept coming. Leave him alone, you bully! The other of the power robbed the memory, and they were wrecked. Annie went to charge of the biggest pirate. Let him go, she said. She said, and the pirate with a kicked him. But the pirate just roared, and they went to grab her too. And he went to the giant and he had Jack if they went to Nathan. No escape the Captain Burns, he ran in the terrible. Let's go! And he shot in the face. The Captain Burns just smiled. All of these were Frank. Annie felt threatened, and Captain Burns laughed loudly, and then he sent other two. Find out of the one they built houses, and he said, Aye, Captain, they answered. And what do you spy, Bingley? said Captain Burns. But Captain Pinky went down. Book, groaned the Captain Burns, and spit on the set. I want you to call your dogs. Dogs are nicer than you, said Annie. Shh, said Jack. What water, you stinky, Captain Burns roared. Just book, Captain, said a stinky. Book, said Captain Burns. On the 5 cent again, I hate book. Keep rook and dogs. Find something good. Find something good. Captain Burns grabbed and Jack backpack. What's in there? He said. Nothing. Jack cried open the backpack. Just a paper and pencil, a book. Another book, robbed Captain Burns. That's fire booty! And the chair flew in the air. Captain Frost. What's that? He shouted. Look, Captain Burns, look! Pinky and went to the treehouse's window, and he held the medallion. He gleamed into the sunlight. Oh, brother, thought Jack. I throw it down! Throw it down! Cried the Captain Burns. It's not yours, said Annie. Captain Burns dropped Annie, and he went to the fair. Guard! He cried Captain Burns. Throw it and horribly, and he rocked the pair, and he shouted them to the air, pinkly and straightly hard the roof. The end for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye bye, and if you like this video, subscribe to my channel. If you guys like this video, click the subscribe button, and see you next time. Bye bye.